So, good morning everyone, my dearest nursing staff. So, today we will talk about ABG. We will deal it within 10 to 11 steps. Okay, step by step. We will complete step 1 and we will revise the step 1 and we will go to the step 2. Okay, so it is little bit complicated. Please pay attention. Okay, but it is very useful for your lifetime. It is more useful than the ECG. Okay. So the first step is knowing about the ABG, which is ABG full form. What is full form of ABG? Arterial blood gas. What does it mean? We are taking blood from the artery to know about the gas. Okay? The gas may be oxygen, the gas may be carbon dioxide, it may be bicarbonate. Okay? To know about the gases, we are doing a blood. We are taking the blood from the artery. Okay? So this is the first step. We have done with the full form. Everybody understood about the full form now? So we'll go to the second step now. Okay? First step everybody know now? Second step is, okay, we know that ABG is arterial blood gas. From where we will take the blood gas? Okay? Which artery? Which is the most common artery? We will radial artery. The second common is very good. Brachial artery is more common than the femoral artery. Brachial artery. Okay. Third commonest is femoral artery. Okay? Understood now? Why we will take from the radial artery is, it is more feasible. Okay? For taking the blood sample in the femoral artery, we have to remove and we have to go near to the genital organs. Most of the people will feel annoyed about it and they will not be comfortable. So this is the most comfortable area. So we are speaking about radial artery. If radial artery is not good, then we can go to the brachial artery. The last option is femoral artery. Okay? These are the sites which will take the blood to know about the ABG. This is the second step. Okay? Understood now? Radial artery, brachial artery and femoral artery. As the class goes on, the difficulty will increase. Okay? The first two things everybody know, I know that. Okay? The third step is, just you have to tell this step by seeing your ABG. What you have, what will ABG contain? From starting of the ABG, tell me what is the ABG has?
pH.
pH.
PCO2, PO2.
PaCO2 we have to call like that because it is a partial pressure of carbon dioxide. PaCO2. Okay?
PO2.
Then
PO2.
PaO2. Then CO3. Then serum electrolytes. What are the serum electrolytes? Sodium, potassium, chloride and
calcium, serum
calcium. Okay? Lactate. Okay? So, any other things? Anion gap. Okay? We will think that ABG is, it is a simple thing, but we can know about this many things in the ABG. But we will never realize that. Have you ever realized that we can know this many things in the ABG? We will not realize, because we want only oxygen, carbon dioxide, and bicarbonate. But along with oxygen, we can see all these things. These are not accurate values, but estimated values. It will be very nearby. The serum sample is accurate. It is almost 5 to 10 number will be difference, but it will be very close. See, to know about the serum sample, it will take at least half an hour, minimum to minimum half an hour. But it will take only 2 minutes to know about these things. So we can estimate what the patient has. Okay? So pH, PaCO2, PaO2, bicarbonate. So these are the things. By seeing the ABG, we know all these things. Understood, no? So I will tell about all these things later. We know about these things. Because why we are seeing the sodium? Sodium may be decreased, sodium may be increased. Hyponatremia, hypernatremia. Okay? Decrease, hypokalemia, increase, hyperkalemia. Chloride, decrease, hypochloremia, hyperchloremia. Decrease, hypocalcemia, increase, hypercalcemia. So we can make a by seeing this only serum electrolytes, we can make out 8 diagnoses here. Okay? We can treat, if you know, if a patient is having hypercalcemia, we can treat it. Okay, we can give by some injections, we can treat it. If patient is having hyperkalemia, we can treat it. Immediately we can treat, at least we can reduce the severity. Why? Because these electrolytes will cause a lot of damage to the body. This sodium will cause damage to the brain. This potassium will cause damage to the heart. Okay? Calcium again will cause damage to the heart. Okay? This chloride will cause damage to the skeletal muscle. Okay? So by seeing these numbers, we can treat and we can make the patient better, or we can avoid from dying. Okay? The hyperkalemia, if you don't treat immediately, patient will die within no time. We have seen many patients who is having a potassium of 7, who has survived after giving calcium gluconate. We have live examples in ICU. We have shifted those patients. Okay? So these ABG we should not take light. We have to see each and every point in ABG. pH is important, PaCO2 important, PaO2 is important, HCO. Every point in ABG will make a diagnosis. Every point is important. Hematocrit will also important. Hematocrit will diagnose dengue. If a patient is having dengue, the hematocrit, depending upon the hematocrit value, we can tell the severity of dengue fever. Okay, every point is enough. Every point is important. Okay, understood, no? So we will discuss this later. We have discussed this now. And coming to lactate, you have to know about 3 points of lactate. What is lactate? You have to know. Lactate is a toxic substance in our body which will be produced by anaerobic metabolism. What is anaerobic metabolism? What is aerobic metabolism? What is anaerobic metabolism? Aerobic is with oxygen. Anaerobic is without oxygen. What happens is when the patient is in sepsis or any poisoning or any that patient will have lack of oxygen in the blood. What happens if there is a lack of oxygen? From the aerobic metabolism, it will change into anaerobic metabolism. And blood will become toxic. And patient BP will come down. Whenever the lactate is high, what will happen? BP will go low. We have seen in many patients, no? Patient will have septic shock. He will be in sepsis. We have taken the class about sepsis. You know, normal value of lactate is less than 2. Okay? Normal value of lactate is less than 2. If it is greater than 2, it is diagnosed as sepsis. Okay? Okay. If it is greater than 4, it is diagnosed as septic shock. Okay. Simply when you see the patient having lactate of greater than 4, mostly the patient's BP will be very low. We have to increase the BP with IV fluids at least 1 to 2 liters depending upon his heart issues, and we have to start an inotrope depending upon the BP. When the lactate is greater than 4, we have to keep in mind that BP will be low and we have to recheck again. Okay, understood? So these things we will discuss later. Now we have knowing about sodium, potassium, chloride and calcium. No doubt about that, no? And lactate less than 2, greater than 2 is sepsis, greater than 4 is septic shock. Done, no? This is the third point we have done. More 7 points are there. Okay? So we are taking a ABG. I know each and every one who are sitting here are more experts than me, and every doctor in here who are working. I'll accept that because you people do the ABGs very often. You are better than us. But I want to correct few things in your doing of ABG. Okay? The main thing is procedure. Fourth point. Procedure of doing an ABG. Atira, Romila, you haven't taken ABG, no? Taken ABG already? So you are in the starting point. These people already have collected many samples, but from today you have to do the ABG in this manner. Okay? I'm not talking about the exact procedure. Before procedure, what we have to do. Okay? So first thing is, while taking any procedure, whatever it may be, first we have to wash your hands. Okay? At least use the hand rub and clean your hands. That is the first important point. And it should be done in front of the patient and the attendant, so that they will know that it is a clean procedure. Understood? That is the first important. After doing that, you have to go to the patient. Suppose Noor is the patient. Okay? I will introduce myself to the Noor. Okay? Sir, I am Dr. Shravan. I am emergency physician here. I want to take a blood sample from your wrist to know about blood gases in your body. Okay? Is that okay for you? This is a gaining of consent. We have to gain consent because you can't go and prick the artery of a patient without telling them, because that is their body. You are hurting their body. Okay? So you have to gain a consent. After gaining consent, you have to make sure that the procedure will be it will be uneventful. I'll make sure it will not cause any discomfort to you. Slight discomfort will be there, but I'll use some local anesthesia and make that it will go very cool. Okay? So before pricking, you have to ask few things. You have to ask any contraindications, like, do you have any bleeding disorders? Do you have any clotting disorders? Are you on any blood thinners like warfarin, aspirin? Do you have any liver problems? Okay, you have to ask. If you ask this thing, you will be benefited because patient will not bleed. If you know, you will take some extra precautions. Immediately you will press the artery so that the bleeding will stop. If you don't ask this one, if you take the sample and if you leave it like that, patient will bleed like hell. Okay? So after explaining about the contraindications, then you have to give a local anesthesia, not more than 0.5 ml, just half of a ml, 0.5 ml you can give the local anesthesia around the radial artery. After that you have to go for the procedure. Okay, what are the things you want in doing the procedure? You want alcohol swab, you want gauze piece, you want a syringe, and you should have a plaster. Okay, so what is a procedure? Partially extended wrist. If you keep like this, the artery will not be so prominent. If you keep like this, artery will be prominent. Okay, partially extended wrist, so that artery will be, we have to palpate the artery, and in the syringe should be 30 to 45 degrees, and just push it. Okay, and you will see the gush of blood. Okay, if it is venous, you can't see the gush of blood. If it is artery only, you will see the gush of blood. After that, you have to clean, and you have to close, and you have to thank the patient for giving the sample, and you have to leave from there. This is the procedure. Okay, you have to change from now. We have to change. Okay, so by this you will avoid complications. By this you will make sure that patient is accepting for the procedure, and they will build a confidence on us that they are taking some consent. They are not causing any harm to them. They will cooperate. Okay, the cooperation by giving them confidence and giving some local anesthesia. Okay, we are not causing any pain by giving local anesthesia. 0.5 ml, nothing will happen. You can give 2 ml also, nothing will happen. Okay, so this is the procedure of ABG. And the one thing I want to tell is there is a test called as Allen's test. Do anyone know Allen's test?
Yes.
Everybody know, I think. So what is Allen's test? To know about the competency of the radial artery and ulnar artery, because both arteries will supply the hand. If radial artery, if the patient, Noor's radial artery is not working well, if you prick that radial artery, the blood supply should be, the blood to the hand will be supplied by only ulnar artery. Okay, we have to see that ulnar artery is functioning or not. Okay, if it is ulnar artery is also not functioning, this will collapse and it will cause ischemia and the hand will die. So you have to know the competency of both. So Allen's test is nothing but see, close your hand, wrist for 30 seconds. Okay, close, compress the both radial and ulnar arteries, and after 30 seconds I will remove one thing. It may be radial or it may be ulnar. I will remove the ulnar artery. So ulnar artery is functioning well. If even after you do one more time, this time I will remove the radial artery. So it is becoming red. Okay, so both radial arteries and ulnar artery is functioning very well in a Noor. Okay, you can take the sample now, because if this is gone, at least this should be there to prevent this ischemia. Okay, understood? This is called as Allen's test. Understood, no? So this is the procedure. 4th point is done. I know Koti is sleepy, Noor is sleepy, Ilna is sleepy, Romila is sleepy. You can stand if you want in the back, but you have to pay attention. This is for lifetime. It is very, very useful. So 5th point. Even if I do night duty also, I will also sleep. There is nothing wrong in that. Okay. So 5th point. So we have done with ABG. We have done with where you will take the ABG arteries, and knowing about what are the ABG contains, and you have done with the procedure. Now the 5th point is what are the uses of ABG. Broadly, the uses are divided into Any breathless patient, breathlessness patients, any sepsis patients, DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis patients, any poisoning patients. The other things, even if you forget, it is not a problem. But in these patients, 100% you have to do the ABG. Even if the doctor is not advising, you can tell your input, sir, patient is breathless, can we do ABG? Patient is having poisoning, can we do ABG? Okay? So these are the uses. Breathlessness can be because of CKD, because of heart failure, because of pneumonia, pleural effusion, pulmonary edema, pulmonary embolism, anything, cardiomyopathy, anything, any breathlessness patient, you have to take the ABG. Minimum oxygen, minimum saturation should be less than 92. If the patient is having less than 92 saturations, you can take the ABG. Okay? Understood, no? So sepsis patients, any sepsis patients, it can be because of urosepsis, it can be because of pneumonia sepsis, it can be because of any sepsis, we can do the ABG. Why? To know about lactate, to know about the severity. It is a sepsis, severe sepsis or septic shock, to know about the oxygen. Okay? So DKA. What is DKA? Diabetic ketoacidosis. The high sugars will be high and patient will be breathing very badly, which is called as, what is the breathing pattern in DKA? Called as Kusumal breathing. Kusumal breathing. Okay? There will be step ladder breathing pattern. Okay? Poisoning. Any poison will cause, most of the poisons will cause metabolic acidosis. Most of the poisons will cause metabolic acidosis. Okay? So to know about the metabolic acidosis, all these things, we have to do these things. Okay? These are the uses. Okay? These are the uses of ABG. Okay? So understood now 5 points. Doing the procedure, this thing, one point you have to know. See, in ABG, first, while taking ABG, the first sample try to take in room air. First sample try to take in room air without oxygen, only if it is possible. That is no compulsion. To try to take, if you are accurate, if you can take the ABG within a 1 second or 2 seconds, try to take in room air. If not, at least give the oxygen, and after that you take. Okay? First try to take in a room air oxygen. Okay? So whenever you are keeping the oxygen, you have to note that oxygen value on the ABG, that is 100%, so that we can calculate is the patient is in hypoxia or not. Okay? By adding dose oxygen and presently patient saturations, we can, by formula we can calculate is in hypoxia or not. Okay? So now what is 6th point? People who are sleepy, without any hesitation, please stand. Please. नूर आप तो बहुत ड्रोजी है. ओके? मैं देख रहा हूँ आपका तकलीफ, देख रहा हूँ मैं आपका आंखों में, मैं देख रहा हूँ आपका तकलीफ. There is no hesitation, we can stand. I used to stand when I was sleeping. Okay? So this point is very, 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 very important. Okay? This is 6th point. Kanchana and Narita came correct. Okay? Normal values. Normal values in ABG. Okay? So what ABG contains? First thing is pH. Okay? Normal pH is 7.35 to 7.45. Okay, this is the normal pH value. Okay, what is normal PaCO2 value? What is this? 35, 45, 35 to 45. Okay, normal PaO2 value 80 to 100. Okay, anytime this these both are gases, no, this will be mmHg, mmHg. Okay, HCO3. HCO3, it is written, some books will tell 24 to 28, some books will tell 24 to 26. So most of the people will tell that it is 22 to 26. Okay, this is not mmHg because this is milli equivalent per deciliter. Okay, understood, no? pH, PaCO2, PaO2 and HCO2. Okay, so these both things, what are these things? Lungs. Oxygen and carbon dioxide, we know from childhood, it is by lungs. Without lungs, there is no oxygen, there is no carbon dioxide. Okay, understood, no? This bicarbonate is by kidneys. Okay, understood, no? Oxygen, carbon dioxide is produced by lungs. Bicarbonate HCO3 is produced by kidneys. Saji, you have to stand up. Okay? For your benefit, it will help you. Okay? 7.35 to 7.45, 35 to 45, 80 to 100, 22 to 24. Okay? Understood, no? 22 to 26, sorry. I told 26, but I have written 24. Understood, no? These are the normal. These values should be in your brain even when you are sleeping. Okay? This, without knowing this value, you can't diagnose ABG. Okay? You should not depend upon the values which is there in the ABG. You have to know, you have to by heart this at any cost. Okay? This is simple. 3.5, 35 to 45, 80 to 100, 22. Only this thing is different.